first thing we're going to do is actually call up the seniors to give them their varsity letter plaques. So if I could have Coach Sadiq and Coach Monty come up.
I'd like to congratulate, before I start, I'd like to congratulate all the athletes and their parents. It's such a wonderful event to be honored, and much success to you guys in the future. Amanda Alexander. One-year girls tennis. Naika Alexander, one-year girls tennis. Haley Allen, one-year girls soccer, 2-year softball. Chris Adriana, 3 years cross country, 1-year winter track, 2 years sprint track. Andrew Ashton, 4-year swimming, 1-year baseball. Diving. John Banks Brown, 1-year football. Andy Barnes, girls soccer, 3 years, girls lacrosse, 4 years. Tommy Davidover, 2 years, boys soccer. Dakota Ditmars, 3 years, baseball. Delvon Doggett, 2 years football, 3 years basketball. Gabe Diolio, 1-year football, 1-year winter track. Obi Azebo, 2 years football, 1-year basketball, and 1-year wrestling. Isabella Falzone, 2 years cross country, 1-year winter track, 3 years softball. Emily Francois, 4 years field hockey, 4 years girls lacrosse. Anna Gaylord, 6 seasons cheerleading. Ahanif Hussein, 2 years boys lacrosse. Henry Hutchinson, 3 years baseball. Devin Cuney, 3 years girls soccer, 3 years wrestling, 4 years softball. Alexa Laughlin, 4 seasons cheerleading. James Lawrence, 4 years baseball. JC Lowe, 4 years field hockey, 4 years girls basketball. Vlad Machevis, 4 years boys lacrosse. Tala Marzouk, 1 year field hockey, 2 years girls lacrosse. Jason Massonet, 3 years baseball.
Switch it up here. Allison McConnell, girls soccer, 4 years. Leah Nicholas, cheerleading, 4 years. Michael Montaigne, swimming, 3 years, boys tennis, 3 years. Matthew Oshel, baseball, 2 years. Keegan Otto, bowling, 1 year. Kaya Robinson, girls tennis, 1 year, girls lacrosse, 1 year. Steven Rodriguez, boys soccer, 1 year, boys tennis, 1 year. Richard Ross, football, 1 year. Olivia Ruck, 3 years soccer, 2 years swimming, 4 years girls lacrosse. Christopher Seifert, 3 years football, 4 years wrestling. Caleb Stokes, 2 years football, 3 years boys basketball. Javon Strong, 3 years football, 1 year spring track. Simone Sumail, girls tennis, 3 years. Ryan Webster, 2 years cross country, 4 years swimming, 2 years spring track. Tamasia Williams, 1 year cheerleading. Imani Wilson, 2 years girls tennis. Craig Wren, boys basketball, 2 years. Anthony Wynn, football, 4 years. Taisha Melvin, are you here? Megan? She had 2 years field hockey, 2 years girls lacrosse.
One more senior to announce, Roshan Ahmed. 2 years boys lacrosse, 1 year wrestling.
All right, seniors, we're going to get you in formation here. We're going to take a group picture. After I take mine, parents, if you want to take yours, feel free, but I got to get a good one right from the front so that we can put it on the website. I'd like to ask Mr. Michael Diddy, our superintendent of schools, to come up and say a few words. Just a few.
Good evening. On behalf of the Board of Education, it's an honor to welcome you to this event and express my thanks and congratulations to all of the senior student athletes who will be recognized this evening. Here in Ewing, we have the Board of Education that believes deeply in the importance of athletics in education. And our Board of Education President, Anthony Messina, is here tonight and would like to say a few words. Mr. Messina.
Thank you, Mr. Nick. Good evening. On behalf of my colleagues in the Board of Education, I want to congratulate everyone here who's here tonight. First, to moms, dads, older brothers and sisters, grandparents, a thank you to you. Because you have stepped up to get these young people where they are today. Thank you. From Little League and soccer the rec basketball, from elementary to the middle school to high school. This completes their high school athletic career. It may not complete their athletic career, but it completes their high school career. And that's when it started, the elementary level. The late nights of washing uniforms, carpooling with other parents back and forth to practice, leaving Ewing High School late on a Friday night, only to have to be back here for the bus on an early Saturday morning. You're all to be commended. To our staff that are here tonight, on behalf of my colleagues from the board, thank you very much. We all believe and we all know that the time that you invest is not commensurate to what you receive in pay as a coach. And we appreciate that. We understand that. The hours that you put in, from working with the kids, to off-season practices, to scouting, to putting together another plan for another season, just teach young people to where they are today. We all know the true passion of a coach is a teacher. We all know that not everybody gets to go on and play at the next level. Certainly even fewer get to go to play at the professional level. By the way, I'd be remiss, and I'm probably stealing somebody else's thunder, but I'm going to do it because I got the mic. About an hour ago, a 2015 graduate of Ewing High School in a Blue Devil was taken in the 9th round of the Major League Baseball amateur draft. He was the 276th overall pick in the amateur draft in baseball, and he's now preparing to travel to LSU this weekend so he can play with his Florida State Seminole teammates as they play in the Super Region. What a fitting night for former Ewing Blue Devil as we get ready to send current Ewing Blue Devils on to the next level. Last thing I'm going to leave you with is you, the student athlete. Thank you. You have played a long part in the history of our athletic department in our school. We started playing athletics here in the fall of 1951. We won our first state championship in basketball in 1955. That continues today. Your hard work has not gone unnoticed. For me personally, I've had an opportunity to view you from the shot put circle, from the hardwood, from the wrestling mat, on a Saturday, on a Friday night, on a cold Friday night here at a football game. Whether you're a cheerleader, a football player, you play baseball, you play lacrosse, you play basketball, I and my colleagues and many of us throughout the town have had an opportunity to witness firsthand your hard work. I'll leave you with two thoughts. One, former principal here and our first football coach in the history of this school, Mr. John Hausman, had great saying, I'd rather read about Ewing on the back page versus the front page. You clearly have continued that tradition in Mr. Hausman's thought. Last one I want to leave you with is the words of an old football coach from Syracuse University, Ben Schwartzwalder. He coached in the day when tensions in this country were not very easy. He had a young man by the name of Ernie Davis who played football for him. And he had a great line, his team, the Cotton Bowl, when they were down south, they were not being treated very nicely at halftime. And that was, failure is never fatal, and success is never final. I hope you remember that. I look forward to seeing you all in about 2 weeks as you cross the stage and you go from Ewing High School student athlete to Blue Devil alumnus. And by the way, if you haven't noticed, you guys played so well in the last 4 years, you wore out the damn field. We got to replace it. Thank you all. Congratulations.
Our Board of Education members really sacrifice a lot of time from their own families in their public service. We also have a board member in the back who's actually a proud senior mom tonight. Proud senior mom of a Ewing High School student athlete. Lisa McConnell, just say hello back there. 2 weeks. 2 weeks from high school graduation. If you're counting, Principal Schmiel and I are not. We'd love to have your kids all summer, Principal Schmiel said. Certainly challenging to be a student athlete today, and I want to express my respect for all of our students here this evening, for balancing the considerable demands of the academic and athletic realms, and demonstrating the determination and sacrifice that is needed to be a part of a high school varsity sport. As student athletes, you go out there and you literally wear uniforms emblazoned with Ewing High School. And I want to thank you all for serving as positive ambassadors of Ewing High School who consistently demonstrate sportsmanship and integrity. Thank you to all the parents for shuffling your children back and forth between practices and games, for having high expectations for your children. and most importantly, for supporting our athletic programs. I know this is an emotional moment for you, man. It just seems like yesterday it was T-ball, you know, it was blue and white football, it was Ewing rec basketball, and then it goes by so fast. You look up, it's over, and their high school careers are coming to an end, and they're graduating. It's certainly an exciting time, but there's a little bit of melancholy, a little bit of nostalgic sentimentality involved with it as well. But you should be very, very proud of these great kids. Coaches, our coaches sacrifice so much from their own lives and their own families in their service to these high school students. We appreciate it greatly, and thank you for being here. And I have to share my thanks and appreciation for Mr. Cole. This is Mr. Cole's last Senior Athletic Awards night after 15 years of service to the Ewing schools, as he heads off to what hopefully will be a wonderful, glorious retirement for him. During his time as athletic director, we've had a lot of success in this high school. That would be 8 NJSIA state championships, 14 sectional championships, including recent state championship appearances by the boys basketball, girls basketball, and softball teams, and just this year, a unified basketball state championship for the kids in Ewing High School. This is again a testament to his progressive leadership. Ewing has become a vanguard, a pioneer in unified physical education and unified sports. We have a very close relationship with Special Olympics, a testament to how progressive Mr. Cole has been. He's also been a leader throughout the state in various organizations. But you know, I think Bud and I are both at 30 years plus in education, and when you've been in it long, you know, you think about stuff like test scores and buildings, but really what it's about kids and families. And that's what you remember. One of my most famous memories with Mr. Cole goes back 5 years ago. It was about this time of year. We were at the state sectional finals, semifinals for softball. And Ewing High School was playing Hamilton. And it was a heck of a game, and Ewing High School softball was in the top of the seventh. You know, they were down 2 runs, and things were looking pretty bleak. But the Blue Devils stormed back. And Nicole Rinaldi hit a 3-run home run in the top of the 7th. And Bud and I were jumping up like kids, hugging each other. We completely forgot. I guess we could still say we're middle-aged men, right? Not all men. Let's say middle-aged, young men. And we could not have been happier if it were our own kids. And those are the things that you take with you throughout your life. And you know what happens is sometimes the little things go and fade away, the trials and tribulations. But you always remember the kids. You always remember the families. And what you like to see is them doing great things in their future. So, you know, when we see Nicole Rinaldi graduating from Princeton University, going out to Utah, doing a teaching internship, we see Mike Salvatore getting drafted. You know, those are the great things that make this a wonderful profession, and we thank you for sharing your kids with us. So, how about a nice round of applause for Mr. Cole here? I know but I'd also like someone just to wave below here. We have our next athletic director who joined us this summer, Mr. Ernie Covington. Say hello here. He's very excited to work with us and be part of an athletic program, a physical education program that we are proud of. And I know you're moving on, but I also know a lot of you have younger brothers and sisters, and I know Mr. Covington is very excited to see them in a Blue Devil uniform. So closing, to our seniors, it has been a pleasure watching you achieve in the various athletic arenas throughout your scholastic career, and I wish you all the very, very best in the future. I look forward to shaking all your hands in 2 weeks. Have a great night. Thank you.
One thing, that he didn't mention about Nicole's home run that won the game is that in the first inning, she hit a home run to put us ahead in the game, and then closed out with her second home run to win the game. So that was one of the best performances I've ever seen from a high school athlete. Talking about being clutch, that was unbelievable. One of the things that I have learned in my career is that, the longer you last, the more that you see kids that, you coached and you taught come and become teachers and coaches, and, that kind of means you've been around too long. That means it's time to go. So, Mr. Nitty didn't tell you, but I coached Mr. Covington in the Carpenter Cup when he was a high school baseball player, and I taught him at TCNJ in his final class that he took for his health and phys ed major at TCNJ. So it's definitely time for me to go. And another testament to that is I'm going to bring up Coach Dave Andrevant for the baseball team. And my first year here, Mr. Andrevant was just a young underclassman, and we spent lots of time together with him waiting for his ride to come pick him up after either soccer practice or basketball practice. So he is one of the sons that I definitely did not bring into this world, but I am carrying him with me through this world. So, Mr. Andrevant, come on.
My parents were always on time. We never had to wait. All right, so for the baseball program this year's Outstanding Senior Award goes to an individual whose work ethic and drive are like no others I've coached. He is dedicated to everything that he does and is a role model both on and off the field. Having the opportunity to coach this individual for 4 years has been a privilege and an honor. He was a peer leader this year, a 2-year member of the National Honor Society, and is a salutatorian of the senior class. He will be attending Eastern University this fall with a double major in philosophy and theology. I would like to congratulate Henry Hutchinson as he I would now like to bring up Coach Dearden for boys basketball.
Good evening. First, I would like to thank all the award winners, the seniors. I wish you the best of luck in all your future endeavors. We are going to miss you. Parents, thank you so much, especially the basketball parents. I know sometimes my practices could be a little long, maybe on an odd day, but I thank you very much for all the time that you put into the basketball program and all the parents for all the programs. Thank you. To the administration, Mr. Nitty, thank you so much for all your support. Hopefully now all the gray hairs that I gave you will turn back to brown. For the board members, especially Mr. Messina and Ms. McConnell, thank you so much for everything. I know I always ask for some extra stuff, and you've always been gracious to me, so thank you. To the principal, Mr. Shamil, I know you're just been here a couple years, and I know you've been supportive for us for our basketball program. Thank you. Mr. Colwell, if it wasn't for your time and effort, I know at first we didn't hit it off. We had bumped heads, but along the way we became friends, and thank you very much. Everybody, it's Miss Lawton over here. She runs the athletic office very well because the secretaries always don't get enough accolades for all the stuff that they do. Please give her a round of applause. Also, to Dave Solan, he's not here tonight, our athletic trainer. He does a great job getting our athletes back on the court, back on the field, and getting them ready to play. So thank you, Dave. My assistant coaches, I want to thank you personally, publicly, because I am a very demanding person. That is very hard to work with me, and I thank you for all the time and effort that you put in, and I know I'm hard, but thank you very much. Now for my seniors, I have two. The first senior I'd like to talk about is Delvon Doggett. Delvon, come on up. Delvon's about what, 5'10", 5'11"? He was our center this year. So to get as far as we did with the center at 5'10", 5'11" is very difficult. He played bigger, much bigger than what he is. He's very quick underneath the basket, he rebounded very well, and he was very strong. And he sacrificed that for us because he kept telling me he's a guard, and that he should be shooting on the outside and dribbling the ball up. But he sacrificed for the rest of the team to be a forward, to be our center, and he did a great job. Delvon Doggett. And like I said, I was fortunate enough to say 2 people. Caleb Stokes, come on up. Now, you want to talk about a kid who could test you? This is a kid who tested me for 4 years, every day. But he kept me on my toes. And that's something good. As much as we might have bumped heads here or there, that's something that's very good, that an athlete can do that and keep you on your toes. And I appreciate it. Some days, not always, but I appreciated the effort that he gave and the effort that he did. He was first team All-County, first team in both papers. The coaches voted him first team. And when he played hard, he was the best player on the court by far. He's going to Delaware State next year, and I wish both of them a lot of luck in everything they do. Thanks. Next, I would like to call up Mike Reynolds, the girls' basketball coach.
I'd like to have J.C. Lowe join me at the front, please. Before I get to J.C.'s accomplishments, I want to say thank you to Mr. and Mrs. Lowe. That's the most support I've ever had in 20 years of coaching multiple sports. Unbelievable. I appreciate it. We'll miss you. On to JC. Our season this year was a little bit different in that a lot of weight was going to fall on JC's shoulders. Previous year we had 5 or 6 kids pulled out there and turned the game to gas and this year we had to shoulder a lot of that responsibility. The teams knew it, which made that even more difficult. Now they're going to focus on what you have to do. So some of the accolades this year. CBC Player of the Year for the Trenton Times and second team group 3, NJ.com. First team all area for the Times. First team all area for the Trentonian. Ministry career with 1,425 points, which I believe is good. And if not for being an unselfish player, the certainly could have been much higher. But she knew how to turn on when it was time to do that. She knew how to reel it in when it was time to do that. Every single big game this year that we played, I think she was over 20 points, including the biggest offensive explosion I've seen since I've coached against Manchester. Loaded with scholarship level players, probably 4 or 5 girls that are looking at Big Ten schools, ACC schools. She just went off. 34 points, played every minute, kept us in the game. Just showed the kind of competitor that she was. So she's going to move on to Virginia State next year. She's going to play. And, if I know anything about JC, we're going to hear really good things for the next 4 years and beyond. Congratulations. And next up is Dave Andrew, Rep. Bolton.
So unfortunately, the 2 bowlers that I nominated this year did not show up tonight, but I'm still going to read a little bit about them. For boys, the outstanding senior athlete is Jimmy McSweeney. Jimmy has been a role model for the team's younger members for the last couple of years and has helped and led by example each and every day. Jimmy's experience and dedication to the program helped lead the boys to 2 undefeated regular seasons, 2 Burlington County Open titles, and 2 Liberty Division crowns. Jimmy will be attending Bucks County Community College college football. Jimmy. And for the girls bowling team this year, I'd like to congratulate Amelia Caputo. Amelia was a four-year member of the girls varsity bowling team and has not only excelled on the alleys, but has earned top honors in the classroom as she will be graduating as the valedictorian of her senior class. Amelia has been a part of 2 undefeated regular seasons, 2 division titles, and 1 Burlington County local championship. In her career, Amelia and the girls bowling team have accumulated over 55 wins and only 7 losses. It has been an honor to coach Amelia for the last 4 years. She is humble, she is a quiet leader, and a true role model. Amelia will be attending Lehigh University in the fall, where she will be majoring in accounting. And next I would like to call up Caitlin Dolan and Amanda Southwick for cheerleading.
Good evening. I had the opportunity of coaching the fall cheer team at Miss Southwick this year. Thank God she was here, to be honest. Miss Southwick and I are beyond proud of the 23 cheerleaders that competed this year. A big thank you to all of my seniors, especially the captains. With all your hard work, perseverance, and determination, you were able to bring home the first place trophy in our division at competition this year. Great job, ladies. Today, though, I would like to recognize one specific senior who demonstrated strong leadership skills throughout the whole season, on and off the mat. Lex has been a cheerleader for 4 seasons. She has gone above and beyond to not only make sure the team is prepared for daily practices, games, and competition, but she also demonstrated great sincerity, maturity, and leadership, both on and off the cheer mat. We are incredibly proud of you and all your accomplishments and wish you nothing but the best of luck next year as you begin your college career. Congrats to Alexa Laughlin for being awarded the Senior Award.
All right, and in addition to coaching fall cheerleading with Miss Doolin, I am also the winter cheerleading coach. So my senior award for winter cheerleading is going to Nevin Gamage, who couldn't be here this evening, but I'm still going to read a little bit about her. So on my squad of 18 wonderful young ladies that I had the privilege of coaching, 9 of them are graduating seniors, which makes choosing this award very difficult, and I'm very thankful for the time I had with all of them. However, with that being said, there was one young lady who went above and beyond for me and this team, and that was Nevin. Nevin served as a captain this past winter season as well as for our fall season. She ran warm-ups, created and taught cheers, as well as a halftime routine, and served as an overall leader and role model for the team. I have been lucky enough to interact with Nevin both in and outside of the classroom in the role of teacher as well as cheer coach, and cannot properly put into words how incredibly proud I am of all that she has accomplished in her time at Ewing. I wish her the best of luck as she goes off to college, and know that she will always have a special place in her Blue Devil family. And next up, we have Coach Monty and Coach O for cross country.
Thank you. Our outstanding senior award for cross country this year goes to Izzy Falzo. So Izzy joined us this year for her 2nd season of varsity cross country. She was an outstanding leader to our little crew of freshmen that came in, including her little sister, little Falzoni. Thank you for leaving us with her, Elise. And she ran about her fastest 5K time, like about 7:30 per mile, which was pretty smoky. As a multi-sport athlete, peer leader, AP student, honor roll student, we almost have time for everything. It goes without saying that she's really well-rounded, but this chick is also pretty tough. I know, you're thinking it's cross-country, how tough do you need to be? But when you are climbing up hills and trekking through mud so hard that you end up fracturing your ankle, and then crying because you're angry that you're not going to finish the race rather than out of the pain, I think we can say that she's really tough. And it's that's like a crazy kind of tough. You have to be pretty crazy to love this sport. It's not that fun. So Izzy, I'm sorry that we broke you, but please know that you were the glue that held us together this season, and that we hope that you maintain that ferocity and determination in everything you do in the future. And we wish you luck next year at Drexel. Up next we have field hockey. No, we don't have field hockey.
We're going to skip field hockey because the field hockey senior is not here yet. So we're going to wait and go on to football. And for football, we have Coach Bessler coming back from his game in Pemberton. Very glad to have him.
Good evening, everyone. Congratulations to all the seniors in here who are getting ready for a lot of things. And I know, this is really like an end for you. However, every kid that's in here, I had an opportunity to meet somewhere along the way while they were here. This is actually the last group in this room that probably even remembers me as a teacher. So this is a special group for me. I mean, if I had to leave with any group, I'm really glad I had an opportunity, especially this goes to the parents too. I'm really glad I had the opportunity to lead with this group. You have raised some remarkable individuals. There are kids in this room that gave me a lot of mementos for me to take into my new position, especially a lot of frames with a lot of pictures. And there's days where you start to scratch your head and say, did I really make the right move? And you look over to those frames, and those pictures are amongst the pictures that are of my own family. So I might not have graduated from this high school, but I spent 16 years here, and this is pretty much home. So I'm very fortunate to be here, but to the parents of these amazing kids, congratulations to you. I'd also like to take the time to thank the administration, Mr. Schmiel, Mr. Nitty, Mr. Kowal, Ms. Lawton, administration, but I know you pretty much rule the roost a lot of times. So, especially also to the board members that are here, and Mr. Messina and Ms. McConnell. I mean, I've been able to develop personal relationships with all of you. Even in my absence, I've called on you at some point. So I just also want to publicly thank you for everything you did for me here, and everything you do for the kids of Ewing Township. Mr. Nitty hit a great point that it's not going to be the games you remember, it's not going to be the grind of the season. Now that I've had some time to step out and reflect, it really is about the relationships. When I get a call or a text from Obi or Chris, just checking in, hey coach, how are you? Or Javon or Mr. Strong, I love seeing that on my phone. Because it is. That's what this whole experience was supposed to be about. It was supposed to be about those relationships that can develop. So, I know everybody's kind of like looking at their watch, like stop talking. I'm going to keep moving here. I'm going to try. Real quick, before I get to my award winner, can I have my senior guys stand up? I know there's a lot of senior football players in here. You all stand up? If you're looking for people who epitomize what this school is, if you're looking for who really helps define this township, you have to look no further than these individuals. They are leaders, they are awesome people to be around. And they have really set the stage for this program. Watching them grow and watching them evolve into the young men they are. I mean, you want to talk about a force to be reckoned with. These guys are going to go out there, and they're not just going to, do what they got to do. They're going to go out there and conquer the world. And they're going to do it having been from Ewing Township. So, congratulations to you guys as you guys move forward. My award winner for the Ewing High School football program is Anthony Wynn, Jr. not to take anything away from any other sport, but to letter for 4 years in football is extremely difficult. It really is. It is really hard to do. And the man standing to my right, yes, the man standing to my right, did it. He did it through hard work. He did it as a leader for the younger guys. He did it in the classroom. I can't tell you how many times he would let me know how he was doing in school. Because, yeah, it's great to shine on that football or that turf, but to do what he did, to just be the total package, it is great. It's great for those younger guys. Because the one thing that I noticed being in this building is, you know, a lot of these kids, they need role models sometimes. And again, having Tony as a captain, you know, the 90+ tackles he had. I mean, I can't tell you how many coaches that are still contacting me like, oh, hey, Bess, where's that number 27 go? You know, because they knew they had a game plan for the kid. I mean, to have 90+ tackles as a safety, you would think the team stinks. Meanwhile, we were 6-4, and we were competitive the whole way. And it was due to the young man here, of just the leadership that he demonstrated on and off the field. And he's going to go on to do big things at Central Connecticut State. And he's going to major in business with a minor in sports marketing. And he's going to go on to do big things and represent this township and this school greatly. Anthony Ewing Jr. And again, I just, you know, this is my last time, and I can't thank you enough for the opportunity that you gave me here. It was a true blessing. Thank you. It's not golf next, right? So it will be boys lacrosse with Coach Liam Gonzalez.
Howdy. So, many sports teams have awards they give out at the end of the season. We do the same. Things like best rookie, most improved, for lacrosse, most ground balls, most goals, things like that. But my favorite award is most reliable. And we define that as player the coach could always turn to and know they would get the job done. Anyone who's ever been on any kind of team, whether it be a sports team or you work together on the play production or you're working on a class project, knows that that person is extremely valuable. The person you can turn to and know they'll get that job done. And not that when I give them the job, it's going to get done, don't have to worry about it. And Ahanif was certainly that guy for our lacrosse team. Very important ability for a player is availability. Sorry, I'm going to go for a little bit, so I think it's whatever. Ahanif was always present. If he wasn't going to be there, he would tell me he wasn't going to be there, which seems so easy, right? But a lot of our guys struggle to do that. They'd be like, yeah, I was going to tell you yesterday, but I wasn't going to be there yesterday, so just so you know that. I'm like, well, yesterday already passed. So that's great. And he would always do things the right way, come to practice with the right attitude, going to work hard, but not going to mean he's not going to have fun doing drills, not going to waste reps during drills because he's goofing off or distracted, watching like the track people run in just a circle. I'm serious, like track's great, but our guys are so distracted watching track all the time. Yeah. Anyway, so in games, regularly you call a timeout because we're having a hard time clearing the ball. And we had about 30 seconds to give different guys jobs. Like, you're gonna be here, you're gonna be here, and then I go through it real quick. Again, this is your job, and then set you free. Hopefully you'll be in the right place. And Ahanif was always in the right place, which is very, as I said, very valuable, very reliable. I knew he'd be where he needed to be to execute. I could go on with a dozen more examples about how he earned my trust. But the point is that none of them are really extraordinary in themselves. What is extraordinary is that he was consistently mindful, consistent mindfulness, consistently aware. All the time, as a coach, you'll hear things like, I wasn't thinking, coach. I thought it made sense at the time, coach. Does it really matter? And yes, it does really matter. You were the one who's supposed to bring water. Go back up that hill and get the water. You weren't thinking. You shot at the defense. The whole defense is here. You thought they were going to move. This isn't the Mighty Ducks. You got to pass. But Ahanif was consistent. He was consistently reliable. Those are difficult and rare qualities to find. Someone that doesn't make stupid or selfish mistakes. So, thank you. I would like to invite up our great ladies lacrosse coaches, Miss C and Miss Hammer.
It's not a duo tonight. Mrs. Conan's here. Good evening, everybody. I'm Kelly Hammer. I'm one of the two women's lacrosse coaches here at the high school. And this evening, I would like you to join me, first of all, in honoring all of the seniors. They've done a wonderful job on all of our programs. But particularly, I would like to take a minute and recognize the 9 seniors that will be graduating through the lacrosse team. They have done a wonderful job for us over the last 4 years, and the loss that our team already feels is tremendous. You have left a wonderful impression for us, and I thank all of you very much. So congratulations to all of you. This year, our award for our outstanding senior athlete goes to Andy Lawrence. Each season, Mrs. Conant and I choose a word that represents each of our athletes, their talent, their tenacity, their behavior, their personality. And the word we chose this year that best represents Andy was wisdom. Andy is one of the smartest players that we have ever had the privilege of coaching. Her academic pedigree is wonderful. She's in NHS, she's a peer leader, she's near the top of the class. And that intelligence, that intellect, that sharpness, it translates to her play. She has wonderful field vision. She can anticipate defense. She can read the field very well. It's very easy for her to make plays. She's a huge catalyst for us, both offensively and defensively. But as our season went on, I think what we should have done instead of picked wisdom was picked relentless. This is a girl who has no stop, no chill, and no slow motion. She is constantly going. She is constantly pushing and driving. She is the thing that makes our offense connect. She was second in the team on scoring. She was first in assists, which says a lot about her, not only her insistence that we keep moving forward, but on her willingness to lead as a player. She was one of our captains. She was second in ground balls, first in interceptions and knockdowns. And she was the person that, as a team, we could always rely on to keep pushing, to keep driving, and to never, ever, under any circumstances, stop. We had an incredibly strong senior field this year, and to all of them, they have our thanks for the example that they set and for the work that they have done, not only for this year's team, but for the teams to come. Andy is our standout senior athlete this year because she is the epitome of everything that you can ask an athlete to do, both on and off the field. We are incredibly proud of her, and I know that not only is she a lacrosse standout, but she is a standout on the soccer field as well. Mrs. Conant and I, the rest of the team, would like her, we wish her all the best, and we would like to congratulate her. She'll be attending Albright University next year, and she is committed to playing soccer. And at this point, I would like to invite Mr. Bonoski to come up to present for girls softball. Oh, that's a lie. Yeah, Mr. B. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. It's not your time. Just kidding. We're going to soccer. Boys soccer, please. Mr. Wessex.
Thank you, Tim. Good evening, everybody, and Dave Osborne, the boys soccer coach. I just want to thank all the parents. I want to thank the student athletes. I want to wish you guys the best of luck next year. To represent boys soccer is Steve Rodriguez. A couple words about Steve, and giving this award out, I truly thought about the program when I got it. And I thought about the culture of the team, and I think that that's something that you don't really hear about much. You hear more about the accolades, what they did. And in soccer, it's really hard to kind of score a ton of goals, get a lot of points. So it's a lot of the things that go behind the scenes. And when I think about Steve, I think about how he influenced so many of the other players and the young players. And I think that it's just such a great person that can try to change the culture, because that's what I was really trying to do. And without Steve, I wouldn't have been able to do that. Leadership. He's consistent. He was always at practice. Anything that he did, if he missed, it was because he's involved in so many other things within the building. Changed not only the soccer culture, but the school culture as well. His communication. He listened to directions. He worked with the younger guys. And when I say this, Steve was a varsity player for 1 year. 3 years, he was on the JV team, making everybody better, doing things and leading by example. And that's just something that you don't hear often. So to me, that spoke volumes. Like I said, he was flexible, and when he came to varsity, he was behind one of the best players on the team. So he changed positions, just because he knew he did what was best for the team. And I can't say enough just how positive of a person Steve is. Every time he's out there, he's giving it 110%. Everything that he does is because he knows it's not better for him, it's best for the team. And, you know, I just think somebody like this, you wish you had that guy on your team. And for me, it was one of those things that I'm blessed to have Steve, I'm blessed to have known you, and I wish you the best of luck at Bowling Green State University in Ohio. And I would wish Ms. Peters, girls soccer.
Hello, everyone. First and foremost, I would like to thank all who made tonight possible. Mr. Colwell, Ms. Lawton, Mr. Schmiel, Mr. Nitty, Mr. Messina and the board, Ms. Angel and our cafeterial staff, my assistant coach, Angelina Gummel, and our entire athletic department. It's an honor to be here to recognize such a wonderful group of talented student athletes. For us, all of us in this room this evening, sports and athletics provided an immeasurable opportunity for personal growth, success, failure, perseverance, and the understanding. The understanding that sports can make up some of our greatest moments of elation, as well as our most difficult feelings of defeat. Coaching is not only an honor, but it's also a privilege. Being a part of the girls soccer program here at Ewing High School and working with talented seniors has been a tremendous opportunity. When we say it's nearly impossible to select one young lady to recognize, it's a true understatement. Collectively, as a group, these senior ladies are truly remarkable. I would like to take a moment and ask them to please stand and be recognized. Now, one thing that these girls exemplify both on and off the field is their support of one another. With that being said, in selecting one to recognize, our choice was beyond difficult. We would like to recognize Allison McConnell. Allie has been the spine of our midfield. She was a leader both on and off the field, and she is not only an outstanding soccer player, but a dedicated teammate, a contributing member to our Ewing community, and a dedicated student. She has truly been an honor to coach, and I wish her nothing but success in her future endeavors. I know she is truly going to make our Blue Devil family proud. Thank you. Now I would like to invite Mr. B from softball. Coach B.
It's too late.
the senior athletes. As a school, we really appreciate all that you do. And I find that if you're an athlete, you're probably a good student also. And I have been very blessed with people like Izzy Falzone, Haley Allen, National Honor Society students, and Devin Cooney. So I've been very, very lucky. I want to bring down our two outstanding players, outstanding seniors, Devin Cooney and Haley Allen. I swear every year it gets like earlier and earlier. Can you please send us who your outstanding senior is? And I said, like, gosh, it's only mid-April. We have like 20 games to go. So at that point, I said, these two are neck to neck. There's one hitter, the three hitter. We had Gentle as a two hitter. 35 hits for the 2 and 3 hitters, and 36 hits, shooting for her 100th career hit for Devin Cooney. And it was a struggle there for a while. I think she was like pressing too much. So we kind of like lied. We said, oh, you already have 99. And she actually got 3 hits that day and surpassed it and ended up with 105 career hits, which is very hard to do. Some schools have like 4 or 5. She was like 20th. Why did we do it? So I said, they're neck to neck. I mean, and I was right. So Haley Allen ended up with 13 doubles, a triple. Last year she had 2 home runs. She and Devin both worked with the younger kids and our JV team. They needed a lot of work, and they were always too glad to help them out to make them better. And they actually came on strong and won 7 games, thanks to their help. Devin was our table setter, the leadoff hitter, and she has to get on base, so somebody has to drive her home. And I don't mean in the car, but with base hits. And Haley had 23 RBIs this year. We're truly going to miss them. Haley's going to play for Mercer County Community College next year, and Devin's going to go to Dickinson and continue where her sister left off this year with a very, very successful career. I'm also going to very much miss Patty Allen, Haley's mom, because she's like as Matt Cooney would say, I'm old school. He likes to use his tablet. I like the old-fashioned scorebook, and she's like the best ever. So anytime you want to come back and do it for us, you're welcome. So I'm really going to miss you and the girls. So. Swimming, Erwin Devlin. No, spring track. And multiple rock.
Good evening, everybody. I'd like to call Chris Andriana. That's my spring track outstanding athlete. Chris has been with the program for 4 years, all 4 years, and in that time, I don't think there's anybody who's improved as much as he has through just the hard work and drive every single day, being at practice, showing up at the meets, being there on early Saturday mornings. He began his racing career like most freshman distance runners do, in miles and 2 miles, because that's where you can kind of steal points as a young guy being on the spring track team. And it was his freshman year at Notre Dame, and Chris, we used to always joke about, Chris kind of like floated when he ran. He never really showed a whole heck of a lot of speed. And then his freshman year, at this freshman meet, I mean, he on court, it was a 5:20 mile, and we were, all the coaches said, we were looking at each other like, where did that come from, man? Like, he was running like 6 minutes, 6:30, like, he shot the, it was out of nowhere. And from then on, we really saw just how good he could be. And he got better every single year, mostly because he was motivated to not have a slow time on the internet, because everything gets recorded on the internet. And it was, I don't want to ever have a slow time, follow me around for the rest of my career. So that was the motivation for him. He ended up running a 450 mile this year in dual meets and being 10th on our team in scoring. And then he ran a 205 half mile, which isn't too bad either. He split 2 flat, but those are unofficial, you know, but we you know, right. He was the anchor leg, and when I tell you, when he got the baton, he was the anchor leg on our 4x8 100-meter relay team, which is 4 guys running a half mile each. And when he got the baton, we knew he was catching people. And he got the baton in 4th or 5th place at relays, ended up putting us all the way up in 2nd. You know, so we finished on the podium, we finished strong that day, and that's just Chris in a microcosm. You know, he is the hardest working kid, great kid. Can't say enough good things about him, man. I wish him the best of luck in his future. And now, swimming, Aaron Devlin. Girls track doesn't have any seniors, so they're gonna be good in a couple of years though. A couple of years, she's gonna have about 10, 15 kids in this run as well.
Good evening. There are many qualities to define a leader, and this student athlete has certainly led our swim team by example. I'd like to recognize Ryan Webster. I've had the privilege of coaching Ryan for the past 3 seasons, and he gave 100% effort in the pool 100% of the time. He persevered through difficult sets, and he always had a positive attitude. After tough races, if he didn't have the best time, even at 5:30 in the morning, in the dead of winter, when he had to get into the pool, he always was positive, and that really set a great example for our team. And this year, Ryan was the well-deserved recipient of our Sportsmanship Award. Ryan is always respectful to teammates, to coaches, and after every race, he would give a firm handshake to his competitors. He's always demonstrating sportsmanship on the pool deck. And I was fortunate to have the opportunity to coach Ryan, and he's an asset to our team, and I know you're going to make him proud at the pool deck, right? All right, congratulations. Now, girls tennis, Christina Mosteller.
Hi everyone. So many faces I have not seen since you were in middle school. So you guys remember me as Contrabado back then. So huge congratulations to you guys, because it is such a change seeing you from 6th and 7th graders and now seniors in high school. So big round of applause, everybody, please. There are a couple individuals that I actually get to watch. It is a privilege that I get to watch from when they are freshmen to when they are seniors. And the 2 individuals that I'd like to call up are Simone Sumiao and Imani Wilson. small in a couple ways, but we're huge in others. And the way that we're huge is that any given year we will have anywhere from 30, at one point, 50 girls. And I rely so heavily on my seniors when it comes to practices, keeping them organized, helping me stay organized, keeping my brain, keeping my head on my shoulders. And when you're talking about 30 to 50 girls, that's a lot of girls together for a long time. If you have a house full of girls, you know. Starting with Imani, she joined her sophomore year, made varsity her junior and senior year, and when you're in a class of 50 girls, 30 to 50 girls, varsity only has 7 spots. So she worked her way into the varsity lineup as a junior, which is very rare. Also last year, she was busy. She was in a state competition. I don't know if she wants me to say this, but she was in a state competition for Youth of the Year, to which she was a finalist. Didn't win, but she was working really hard with that during the school year. So she is well accomplished outside the tennis court. On to Simone. She, if you ever went to the arts, I believe they just had it the other night. She actually has art up all the time. She got recognized a couple times. But those are just some of the accomplishments that we have outside of tennis. During tennis, 30 girls, getting them ready, making sure that they're organized, sending them out to practice, trying to get them to do their 6 laps, 8 laps on the courts. By the time I get there from the middle school, it is such a huge job. And then during matches, I have received multiple compliments on both individuals based on their sportsmanship, based on how kind they are to their opponents. That is extremely huge for us. And these are 2 individuals whose names are coming up all the time. So they do represent Ewing very well. So again, I just want to recognize these 2 individuals. Thank you. I believe we have women's track.
All right, our outstanding senior for winter track is Michael Sandi, who I believe is not in attendance tonight. So I'll cut out all of my jokes, unfortunately. So just to give you a little bit of information about what Mike did during the winter track season, he was a long jumper and triple jumper, and he didn't join winter until his sophomore year. Like most kids, they realized how much better it's going to make them as spring track athletes. But winter track is really tough because we practice outside in the winter, and it's 30 degrees. And as a jumper and an athlete, it's pretty hard to be explosive in the cold, it's pretty dangerous. And they don't have long jump and triple jump in a lot of meets. This year, when we got to Mercer County Championships, it was only the 2nd, 3rd time Mike was able to actually get to competition and jump inside, and he took 2nd place in both long jump and triple jump in county championships. And then he was invited this year to the first ever Tournament of Champions, the long jump showcase, where they invited the top 24 athletes from all across the state of New Jersey, all groups, not public, 1, 2, 3, 4, to compete down there. And on just a little note, those meets where he was competing in the championships, because of facilities, it was mostly just him and myself, maybe one other athlete that went down to those meets. So we didn't have the support of a big team cheering him on. He kind of had to go there and just kind of compete on his own against that competition that day. So it was kind of isolating, and he kind of worked through that. Practice was difficult, but he did really great this indoor season, and then it showed so much come spring back. He has been breaking records all season. He, at sectionals, broke a school record in triple jump, jumping 45 feet 9.5 inches, if you want to measure that out. And he is central group 3 sectional champs in that event. So he qualified on to the state meet in that and in long jump, where he just this past weekend jumped 22 feet 5.5 inches. So he's about half an inch away from the school record in that one as well. And he's competing this coming weekend at Meet of Champs in long jump, triple jump, and also the 4x1, which also just set a school record, running 42.62. So he now is the triple jump school record holder and part of the 4x1 school record holder, and hopefully this weekend he'll become long jump school record holder. So wish the team the best of luck this weekend at Meet of Champs. And up next, I believe we have Coach Alessio with wrestling.
All right. Welcome or almost goodbye to everybody. I forgot that I was speaking once this year, so I really enjoyed saying, thank you so much for bringing that here tonight. First thing I do is thank the parents, especially the wrestling program. Without the parents that I have throughout the year, doing everything that they do, I would not be successful. We would not be successful in the wrestling program. We're not a huge team, which is okay. We're going to send 14 kids out and we have 14 kids that they but it's a lot that goes on behind closed doors and running things so that we can be successful. One parent is huge. Mr. Coon runs our table at our tournament. Without that, there's no tournament, there's no fundraiser for the wrestling team, and we aren't able to buy them things for the dorms. All these things that we do to kind of make wrestling more appealing. Moving on for outstanding wrestlers, I have 2 this year. I'll start with the first one. He is known now across the state of New Jersey as Man-Child. Kobe Woodard, is that go? I know Shelly probably doesn't love this, but I thank you for giving him to me in his senior year. Talking from basketball, it's not a transition that most people make. But it's one that benefited the rest of the team a lot, and what this kid did this year is something that doesn't happen all the time. In his first year of wrestling ever, he stepped on the mat November 26th for the first time ever. He ended up winning 34 matches, so 34 10 of the year. Won a district championship. Went on, we're like, okay, let's see what happens. Districts is one thing, let's move on to regions. Placed top 4 in region, qualified for state in his first year of wrestling. This is a kid that didn't know move before November and went out and just dominated. He also, in that time, for the most part, wrestled heavyweight, where he was laying in at like 220 on the dot. He was bumping up wrestling kids that are 285 pounds. Just the things he did just don't happen. I couldn't, and he came off the mat at the end of states after losing. He won a bunch of matches down there, which is huge, but he came off aggravated that he didn't win more matches in states. And I had to explain to him that just to get there from where he was is a feat on its own, and that something that you should definitely be proud of. It's a joy to have him cheer. My second outstanding wrestler is Chris Seifert. Chris has been very fortunate over the years to have a really, really good wrestling partner in the room. His freshman year was not easy. He was coming from middle school where he was able to throw people around. He was stronger than them, and he realized really soon in his high school career that wasn't just to get the job done. He had to actually learn how to wrestle. So his freshman year was challenging. It wasn't, he had single-digit wins. I'm not gonna, lie to you guys at all. He wasn't the greatest wrestler in the room, and he had to deal every day with me, trying to make him a better wrestler. So much so that we almost lost him from the wrestling team after his freshman year. I called parents, I pulled him out of class, talked to him several times, and he was like, no, I'm not going to do it, not going to do it. And then probably about 2 or 3 days before the season, he was like, all right, I'm going to wrestle. From there, he went on to win 16 matches his sophomore year, was a region qualifier. Went on his junior year, once again, 27 matches, won region qualifier again, 1 match away from going to states. And then his senior year, he came back like no one I've ever seen, just determined and ready to go. He ended up winning 38 matches, was listed 3rd all time for season wins. He went 38-4, went down to states, which was his goal all along. Got to step out on the boardwalk hall floor with all those mats, won a couple matches down there, and just did great things. I'm really proud of the process and everything this kid went through, where he was freshman year, just trying to muscle people around to the polished wrestler he was in his senior year. Chris Ewing. Real quick before I hand over the mic, sorry, I have 2 things. One, I do have to mention Devin. Devin, stand up. She was a really good softball player, but she was one of the top wrestling girls in the state of New Jersey. Ewing Wrestling has 4 state place winners. Devin is the highest placing wrestler we're doing in history. She had 24 wins in her career against guys. She was a 4th place district finisher. And this year, when they gave her the opportunity to wrestle other girls in the state of New Jersey, she went out and showed out. And she's one of the best wrestlers to come through Ewing High School, so I'm proud of you. Second thing I'm proud, I promise. If I left tonight without thanking everybody who has come through Ewing Athletics and led the way for this new wave of coaches, all the coaches and obviously Bud moving on after this year, you were really the guiding light for all of us. You taught us how to do it. Shelly, Mike, Kelly, Leslie, and Drew Bessler, especially Drew Bessler, coached underneath him for 6 years on the football program. I wouldn't be who I am as a coach without the guidance of them and Drew and Bud. I still walk into Bud's office and have 20-minute conversations that I can't get away from because he's just trying to give me as much wisdom as he can before he leaves. So without you guys, this new wave of coaches that he had in front of us that is going to be under leadership of Ernie isn't any good. So thank you.
We have one more student athlete to recognize. Coach Jonas is going to talk about her outstanding field hockey player.
She is one of the most dynamic and spontaneous players I've ever coached. She certainly has kept Mrs. Hammer and me on our toes all season long. Even with her crazy on-the-field antics during practice, the girl could play field hockey. Her boisterous laugh could be heard all over the field, even during dribbling and stick work drills, half-field scrimmages, or rapid-fire hits in the cage. She was one of the hardest working athletes on the field, always had a pep in her step and a smile on her face. Well, maybe not during time runs and sprints. She would complain then, trying to convince us that her leg was broken. But seriously, Ty Melvin is one incredible field hockey player. Her skill set has evolved over the past 3 years, and her play this past year in the midfield has been nothing short of amazing. She did it all, from offense to defense and everywhere in between. I'm going to miss you and all your insanity more than you know, and I hope you leave Ewing High knowing the impact you've had on your teammates, coaches, and the game. Ty Melvin.
It's always my goal to get us out of here before 8 o'clock, and because of some of the coaches who are no longer going to be here, and felt that it was their duty to talk as long as possible, that is not going to happen. I apologize for that. Bessler always wins. Right, Bessler is famous. The 10th, 12th man TD Club dinners now will be about 30 minutes shorter because Mr. Bessler is not going to be speaking. I do want to say a couple of things real quickly, though. You know, the coaches that have worked with me, and I don't say for me, I say with me, because we are a team. I really do appreciate all your work. I do know how much you put in. I'm there, I see it, I'm at practices, I'm at games, I know what's going on. I was there like you are doing now, way before you knew me. So I do know, and I really do appreciate what you've done. And most of all, these kids sitting in this room appreciate what you've done. It's not even about appreciation, it's about love. And we're a family. We've been a family the whole time that I've been here, both coaches and student athletes and students and administrators and board members, right? Because we are all going for the same goals, right? I look back at the table in the back, I got handshakes with guys that I didn't even know how to do when we started them out. They're individual handshakes for everybody. So the Phillies copied off of us because we had our individual handshakes first. Love you guys. Appreciate it. You make me feel like I'm still important. I'm not coaching you every day, but when you come up and do that kind of stuff to me, that really makes me feel proud. I appreciate it. To Mr. Nitty and also Mr. Shamil, they know what this job is. Mr. Shamil did it. Mr. Nitty's father did it. So they kind of know what you go through, and they've been very supportive to me, and I really, really appreciate that. I can't thank you guys enough. Ernie, you got the best two guys to work for in the entire state of New Jersey. I'm going to tell you that right now. And they have the best young AD that they could ever ask. Again, ladies, angel in the back, I really appreciate what you do. I know nobody in this room really hears thank you nearly enough, but I thank you for everything you've done for us all of my years here. And this is just the best event of the whole school year, every year, and it's because of you. Student athletes, the one thing I want to say to you is the thing I say every year, is that when you go home tonight, if you're riding in the car with your parents, if you drive yourself and you go home and meet your parents at home, thank them for all that they've done for you. And parents, thank your children, because I know what it feels like to watch your child play a sport and succeed and enjoy it. And that's the best feeling in the world. So hug your kids. Thank them for giving you that feeling. I didn't think I'd choke up on that part. I thought I'd choke up on this next part. The most important person to me for the last 5 years has been Mrs. Luck, my secretary. But she's not a secretary. She's a partner, she's a teammate. She's absolutely the most phenomenal person that you could work with. And I'm going to miss her more than I can tell you. Ernie, she's great. She doesn't even need you to tell her what to do. She doesn't need to be taught what to do, she teaches herself. She's absolutely the best and kept me going probably extra years that I didn't need to go to retire. Karen, thank you so much. The coaches want to say she keeps a candy jar, so that's why she's the most important person. And the candy jar gets emptied every day, so that's not really very good. On student athletes, on the back of your varsity letter plaque that you got tonight is a pass that will get you into Ewing well, really all the Ewing events, but only the ones you have to pay for if you have to show it. It'll get you in for the next 4 years, and until you graduate and have a job, they can pay us back a little bit of money. So make sure that you have that with you when you come back to visit us, and do not lose it, because I will not be here to vouch for you. All right, so Obi, don't lose it, man. You gotta make sure you keep it. The last thing that we have on the docket is really the 4 awards, the 2 Karis McGurk awards, the 2 Outstanding Senior awards. There is a spreadsheet that goes with this, and part of the reason why I'm staying to help Mr. Covington kind of get acclimated to the process is just to learn how to do the calculations for these awards. Right. The Outstanding Senior Athlete awards are really determined by 1/3 academics and 2/3 athletics. Right. It's, basically it's the number of varsity letters you win, your SAT scores and your GPA scores all kind of calculated together. So it's a lot of fun when you actually go to do it, and it takes probably more time than planning the whole event. So the first winner that I'd like to announce, and after we do this, we're going to take a picture with these 4, and actually 3, because one winner's not here. We'll take the picture at the end so that we can publicize that out. Mr. Diddy will tweet it out, we'll have it on the website. You've heard a lot about these student athletes because their coaches have talked to them, so I'm not going to take any more time. I'm just going to call them up. But for 2019, the Outstanding Female Senior Athlete is Annalie Francois. The Outstanding Male Senior Athlete, and I told you to come here tonight, is James Campbell. The Female Karis McGurk Award, you've heard a lot about this young lady. She has been involved in multiple sports in her career here. Outstanding scholar as well, Devin Cooney. And the male Karis McGurk Award winner for this year, Michael Monte. All right, again, I'd just like to thank everyone for attending this great event once again. Please give all of your support to Mr. Covington and the new coaches that are coming on and the old coaches that are staying. All right, it's been a great pleasure to be a part of this Ewing athletic community for the last 15 years, and I will never, ever, ever be sorry that I came here. Leaving being a Red Devil and coming to be a Blue Devil for even longer than I was a Red Devil. Thanks and have a great night.